the weight. Trust me, it's gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Imagine a little boy, the second of 5 children in a middle-class family. His name is Billy. Now, Billy was a smart, sensitive, and funny guy who loved to play tricks on his siblings, and he was very close to his dad. As a matter of fact, Billy's dad was his rock. When Billy was a freshman in college, his dad died suddenly and unexpectedly of a massive heart attack. And Billy took it hard. Eventually, he started experimenting with drugs and quickly found his drug of choice, heroin. Unfortunately, Billy's addiction continued until he almost died of kidney failure. But over the course of the next decade, he was able to reunite with his family. And even though he had not been very present when his own kids were growing up, he was a favorite of his grandkids, who all called him Pawpaw.
Hey! Oh, sorry.
Billy died 2 years ago, but I learned a lot from him. I learned how trauma and loss can derail a person, robbing them of their life's potential. And I was puzzled. How could someone from such a good family end up with a heroin addiction? And I know many families in America are grappling with the same question now during the opiate epidemic. But the reason this bothered me and kept me looking is that what you don't know is Billy was my brother. I am a physician who specializes in treating eating disorders and addictions. But what I really do is work with survivors of trauma, because the vast majority of my patients with eating disorders and addictions have experienced abuse and neglect, witnessed violence, and suffered numerous losses, most before the age of 18. And that can be devastating. For example, adolescents with a history of abuse and neglect are 3 times more likely to have a drug and alcohol problem than those without.
People going through things. Andy, who was that speaking? Yes? Carolyn Coker Ross. I love it. She was cooking. And not everybody has that issue. But what I'm saying is we all have some fractures. We all have some breaks. And what I'm telling you to do is not to run to the relationship for comfort alone. I'm not saying relationships are not supposed to provide comfort. That's not what I'm saying. Sure. But the comfort must come from within, so you can sustain comfort in any storm. Do you see? Let me give you guys an example before I go to my caller. I want you guys to understand, I think the minister can say it better than I can say it. This is how this show should make you feel. When you tune in to the voice of reason, this is what it's supposed to feel like. My sentiments exact.
I'm sorry. Your time has come, has come, has come, has come, has come, has come. No, God is present today. They need to be afraid. You need to be afraid today because the God of justice is present now. That's why he said, vengeance is mine. The battle is not yours. The battle is the Lord's. And God has come. The battle is on, and the plagues are coming down. And no, I'm not afraid, but you need to be, and especially when you see what's coming up. Because as a man soweth, the same shall he also reap. And when you have done the evil that you've done to us and done it to others, did you never think that there would come a day when you would have to pay for all that crap that you have done? Thomas Jefferson said it right, brother. He said, I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just and that his justice cannot sleep forever. Well, his justice has awakened, and all over the world, the nations are turning right before our eyes. And that's why Trump is saying we gotta make America great. How? When? Again. Because she's not great today. People are not afraid. The world has taken enough of America's evil. So death is sweeter to some than continuing to live under white supremacy and under tyranny. So no, I don't care nothing about them investigating me or arresting me or even...
Hey, listen, this is the spirit of the voice of reason right now. Do you understand? This is how you should be talking to your wounds. Instead of trying to moor those wounds to some person, to somebody else's external doc. You should be looking at your wounds with love, with kindness, but you should also be saying, you don't get to stay here. The person comes into your life, shows it to you. What are you supposed to do? You accept it. Oh, that is me. I got that from when I was a child. I still held on to that. Oh my goodness. That is me. Let me grab that wound and love on it. When the minister is speaking, he's speaking to his people in love. It sounds fiery, right? It sounds passionate. It sounds angry, right? But he's speaking to his people in love, right? I'm saying you have to have a fearlessness to look at your own wounds and stop bending the knee to every one of its dictates. Real love lives outside of the pattern that raised you. Real love lives outside of the survival pattern you created in order to have some semblance of peace around your original home environment. It's nobody's responsibility to make you feel more comfortable than you did with the first people that loved you. I don't know who that hit. I'm not throwing it at you per se. I don't know who that last line hit. We got somebody on the lines. Let's get him in here. Valerie from Los Angeles. We went from New York to LA in just a short time. Valerie, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Story time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm tripping tonight. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I got my story.
Okay. Let me get out your way.
Yeah, no, you ain't tripping. You hitting me in the gut. No, you hitting me in the throat.
Okay.
I had to decide which story was the most appropriate.
Oh, okay.
That's how much it hit me in the throat.
Okay. Well, let's hear it.
I grew up in a household where if there were crumbs anywhere in the kitchen in the middle of the night, my mother would wake us loudly for half blank cleaning her house and make us redo it. Sometimes all the dishes would come out of the cabinet. So to say that, I'm saying that because I developed OCD. Working in my library helped me channel that. So it's not compulsive. It's there, but it's not compulsive. So fast forward. I had a gentleman over for dinner, and I'm making shrimp spring rolls and all the fixings. And
la
so
la.
it's messy, chopping, mixing,
Oh,
stuff's
sorry.
everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
No worries. And he grew up in a household where his mother did everything. So after dinner, I sit down because I'm making them to order, rolling as we go. And I sit down and light a spliff. And he goes into the kitchen and says, I don't know, I guess to the dishes, because half the time I cook and clean while I'm going, but when I'm doing something creative, it's going to look like I did something creative. And I heard him from my kitchen. It's not a mansion. There's no east wing. He says, let me wash these dishes. So I don't know who he's talking. He's in the kitchen, so I didn't say anything. He came back into my front room and he said, well, let me wash those dishes for you. And I looked at him. The old me would have hopped up to perform my wound. But this me took a drag, looked at him, and said, don't wash my dishes. They don't be here when you're gone.
Leave them dishes alone.
But it's triggering you. You can go on and wash them and work through it.
Right.
And that led to some good conversation. And, I had my meditation and cleaned up after he left. But I say that because, the one thing that Satan and God can agree on is that we all fall short.
That's right.
But the arrogance
Go ahead.
of standing in the diagnosis like it's the destination. It's like stagnant water for me. I can't do it. If you're working, I don't care where you are in your journey, work.
Right.
But don't expect me to work around you. I got my fish to fry. You got yours. Jesus ain't gonna ask you about me when you get to heaven. You hit me. You hit a nerve because that's like a kind of a recent wound. But it's just like, no, like if we're doing this, we're doing this. Acceptance is acceptance. If I can accept it in me, then maybe you can. And if you can't, then maybe you should try the door. Because I'm not bending no more. Nobody waking me up in the middle of the night looking for crumbs if somebody else left. That monster is gone.
Gone.
And those are those familiar spirits that enter. It's not that people are possessed, I don't feel like, but I feel like people's wounds are cracks for patterns.
Go ahead. I'm there. I'm
and
walking.
those are those familiar spirits that trigger us. And we go right back into the loop.
Right.
And that's the goal, to take us off our square. So, you can give a person, and you doing your work and they're triggering you. It's not their job to not trigger you. It's your job to figure out why you're being triggered and go back and trace that and heal that. And adapt. It's not a mechanism of manipulation, and that's that arrogance of the destination.
Wow.
Even a person with cancer is fighting it.
Come on.
Like, don't you want to live? I'm okay. I'm sorry. I actually had a split tonight, so I'm gonna let y'all go.
It's okay. Hey, listen, Valerie, guess what it is that you just did?
Brought all my business from LA.
Come on. She brought Los Angeles in the building. We appreciate Valerie so much. So much love. So much. You already know you can call anytime. We love you. And if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580. I have no mooring for your wounds. They don't get the dock here. Sometimes what gets called no chemistry deserves investigation. Right? Is nothing happening, or has nothing familiar gone wrong yet? Right? I know people don't want to hear me talk like this. Partnership permits shared regulation without transferring permanent ownership of one's internal state. I'm not responsible for how you heal. I'm not responsible for your insights. I don't believe that, your choices shape your reality. When I say I don't believe it, I'm not saying it isn't true. What I'm saying is it doesn't have to be true. Resist the pattern that your choices present, right? We can have a love that is mooringless, that doesn't have an anchor to it, right? It does not mean emotional detachment, superiority, perfect healing, or immunity from pain. It describes connection with differentiation. Your history can enter our relationship without automatically receiving authority to assign my role inside of it. Listen, when we come forward, the voice of reason, I'm not going to stop cooking what I've been cooking up all night. Let's get it.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
The KBLA 1580 app puts the realest conversations right in your pocket. Stream live wherever you are in the world. No static. No searching the dial. A crystal clear connection 24/7, exactly when you want it. We recommend that you keep automatic updates enabled. Set it and forget it. So the app stays up to date with store requirements, bug fixes, and new features as we roll them out. Download the KBLA 1580 app today and stay plugged into the conversation everyone's having.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The BLM Center for Black Power is a hub for Black activism in the city of Los Angeles, a standalone nonprofit affiliated with Black Lives Matter LA. The venue is home to live events, meetings, and organizing drives for Black-led community-based organizations. It is also the base of operations for Black Lives Matter LA. Built on what used to be a nuisance property owned by an arms dealer, the BLM Center for Black Power is in the heart of Leimert Park and has opened its doors to everything from youth organizers to toy drives to film screenings and community town hall meetings. To make a donation or make a request, please visit blmla.org. That's blmla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Just in case you missed our Procrastination Crenshaw Town Hall.
I actually live on this block, and it has affected my life because I'm a knock nurse. We have everyone coming over here that's on meth, drugs, and everything. I've called multiple times to Los Angeles County about once you leave out of here, you will see once you go down to this stop sign, it's pitch black. There's no lights over here.
No lights?
No lights on this side or that side. You have people with mental issues throwing these gates to Crenshaw. Children don't like to come outside anymore on their scooters, their bikes, their helmets, and they're speeding up and down. No regards to life at all. Like I said, I leave out of work. I'm a traveling nurse, so I take my contracts in Los Angeles County, but I may have to go to Montebello. I may have to go to Van Nuys. I leave out at 9:45 sometimes sooner, and it's someone breaking into our mailboxes because they're breaking into our mailboxes.
So now the mail's not coming.
Yeah, breaking your windows in your vehicle, and it's just really sad.
Holding them accountable. We're KBLA, Talk 1580.
You want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I won't pretend that I intend to stop living. I won't pretend I'm good at forgiving. But I can't hate you. I still really, really love you. Love is stronger than pride. I still really, really love you. I won't pretend that I intend to stop living.
In the mid-90s, the CDC and Kaiser Permanente discovered an exposure that dramatically increased the risk for 7 out of 10 of the leading causes of death in the United States. In high doses, it affects brain development, the immune system, hormonal systems, and even the way our DNA is read and transcribed. Folks who are exposed in very high doses have triple the lifetime risk of heart disease and lung cancer, and a 20-year difference in life expectancy. And yet doctors today are not trained in routine screening or treatment. Now, the exposure I'm talking about is not a pesticide or a packaging chemical. It's childhood trauma. Okay, what kind of trauma am I talking about here? I'm not talking about failing a test or losing a basketball game. I am talking about threats that are so severe or pervasive that they literally get under our skin and change our physiology. Things like abuse or neglect, or growing up with a parent who struggles with mental illness or substance dependence. Now, for a long time, I viewed these things in the way I was trained to view them, either as a social problem, refer to social services, or as a mental health problem, refer to mental health services. And then something happened to make me rethink my entire approach. When I finished my residency, I wanted to go someplace where I felt really needed, someplace where I could make a difference. So I came to work for California Pacific Medical Center, one of the best private hospitals in Northern California, And together, we opened a clinic in Bayview Hunters Point, one of the poorest, most underserved neighborhoods in San Francisco. Now, prior to that point, there had been only one pediatrician in all of Bayview to serve more than 10,000 children. So we hung a shingle, and we were able to provide top quality care regardless of ability to pay. It was so cool. We targeted the typical health disparities: access to care, immunization rates, asthma hospitalization rates, and we hit all of our numbers. We felt very proud of ourselves. But then I started noticing a disturbing trend. A lot of kids were being referred to me for ADHD, or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. But when I actually did a thorough history and physical, what I found was that for most of my patients, I couldn't make a diagnosis of ADHD. Most of the kids I was seeing had experienced such severe trauma that it felt like something else was going on. Somehow, I was missing something important. Now, before I did my residency, I did a master's degree in public health. And one of the things that they teach you in public health school is that if you're a doctor and you see 100 kids that all drink from the same well, and 98 of them develop diarrhea, you can go ahead and write that prescription for dose after dose after dose of antibiotics, or you can walk over and say, what the hell is in this well? So I began reading everything that I could get my hands on about how exposure to adversity affects the developing brains and bodies of children. And then one day, my colleague walked into my office and he said, Dr. Burke, have you seen this? In his hand was a copy of a research study called the Adverse Childhood Experiences Study. That day changed my clinical practice and ultimately my career. The Adverse Childhood Experiences Study is something that everybody needs to know about. It was done by Dr. Vince Felitti at Kaiser and Dr. Bob Onda at the CDC, and together they asked 17,500 adults about their history of exposure to what they called adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs. Those include physical, emotional, or sexual abuse, physical or emotional neglect, parental mental illness, substance dependence, incarceration, parental separation or divorce, or domestic violence. For every yes, you would get a point on your ACE score. And then what they did was they correlated these ACE scores against health outcomes.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Black Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser is reflecting on the one-year anniversary of President Trump's federal law enforcement surge in the district. Bowser says the deployment highlighted concerns over D.C.'s lack of statehood and local autonomy, while also praising the city's response. Hudson Valley, New York Black civil rights leader Wilbur Aldridge has died at 80. The longtime Haverstraw resident spent decades advocating for social justice and served as a local NAACP director. In 2017, Aldridge received the Rockland County Legislators Distinguished Service Award. And more tickets to the Obama Presidential Center are going on sale Wednesday. The latest release will include museum visits from January 4th through January 31st of next year, along with a limited number of tickets for this October. The museum is the only part of the center that requires a ticket, and admission has been in high demand since tickets first went on sale in May. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
5 years,
Thousands of hours of talk radio that doesn't flinch. One station that calls it like it is. Every single day. KBLA Talk 1580, where progressive isn't a buzzword, it's a promise. We're celebrating 5 years of fighting for the right side of history, and we're not done. Catch us at 1580 AM or stream us live on the KBLA 1580 app or website, because the conversation doesn't stop.
Happy anniversary!
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
All I need is one mic.
With the KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. August 5, 2026. Dear LA City Council President Marquise Harris Dawson, on behalf of a coalition of businesses and residents that constitute the Crenshaw Corridor community, we write to request that a concrete timeline and resources for fully completing Destination Crenshaw within a year be developed and announced. A year is the outside time it should take, and we hope and expect that it can be finished considerably sooner. We also request the immediate establishment of a business interruption relief fund for the merchants, entrepreneurs, churches, and property owners who have borne the disproportionate economic burden of the prolonged delays associated with the Destination Crenshaw project, and a resident relief fund for the residents of the corridor who have been most adversely affected by the prolonged construction and delays associated with this unfinished development. Destination Crenshaw was presented to this community as a transformational investment in Black culture, Black commerce, and the future of South Los Angeles. It has now been 6 years since the project broke ground and over 2 years since the promised completion date. Construction has stalled with no apparent end date in sight. The Crenshaw Corridor community embraced the vision of Destination Crenshaw, but the obstruction from the delayed construction has caused prolonged health and safety hazards, uncertainty, reduced customer access, declining revenues, disruptions, and mounting financial hardship. A broad spectrum of the community expressed their frustration over these delays and the impact they have had on the community at a standing room only July 30th town hall at Bethesda Temple Church, widely covered by the media including ABC, CBS, Fox, and NBC. The burden of these unexplained delays should not rest on the shoulders of the Crenshaw Corridor community, which acted in good faith and supported this historic project. If the city fails to provide a complete and substantive response to this correspondence within 30 days of the date of this letter, the Crenshaw Corridor community reserves its right to pursue all of its rights and remedies. Sincerely, the Crenshaw Corridor community. To read the complete letter detailing all of our demands, go to our website at KBLA1580.com. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. As always, we welcome your feedback.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
So how long did you tell John you'd be gone this time?
A couple of months.
What did you tell him you were going to do?
It doesn't matter.
I'm happy to see you, baby.
Happy to see you too.
You look so sexy, so good. I want to show you something.
What is it? Me too.
I don't have to wait no more. No, no. Your body's bumping and I love it, babe. Don't you go nowhere, girl. I've got a secret to show you, and girl, I just can't wait.
Understand that the experience of love is the experience of the absence of separation.
Oops. Yes, of course.
I know you do. If love is the absence of separation, that is the absence of self or other, how could a separate self either love or be lovable? You are absolutely right that whether or not our personal story, we have a personal story that accompanies and reinforces the belief I am unlovable. Some of us do have such a story, others don't. But for all apparently separate selves, the feeling of being unlovable and unable to love accompanies the separate self. Because the existence of the separate self is the denial or refusal of love. So you're right, all separate selves, whether they have an accompanying, reinforcing story or not, are incapable of love, incapable either of giving love or of receiving love. And that is why so many people feel, I am unlovable.
Gosh. Hey, Andy, who is that? Rupert Spira was on fire. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Voice of Reason. You've returned to the scene of the conversation, man. This is a real one right now, tonight. And it's powerful what he's saying. Separation. Where there's separation, there's no love. Right? What hit me as I'm listening to him, it's like our stories are mating. Our stories are marrying. Our stories have compatibility. We got to have compatible stories. The wounds got to have somewhat of this similar narrative. It's pattern matching all the way through. And what Rupert just explained about love, every time we're dealing with love, what are we dealing with? A higher level of unconditionality. Every time we're dealing with wounds, we're dealing with a higher degree an intensification of conditions. And these conditions are contextualized as boundaries, as protective. Love is unconditionally free. I need you to understand more. Tonight's topic, I can't be the mooring for your wounds, right? So mooringless love does not mean emotional detachment. It does not mean superiority. And it also doesn't mean perfect healing. There's no such thing as perfect healing, right? Nobody is healed more, right, than the next person, right? You can say, oh, I'm more healed than my partner. It's impossible because you're not responsible for your partner's healing journey. You can be a witness of it. You can be a companion of it, but you can't say the level of my healing is higher than yours because it's two different paths. Do you see? So mooringless love, like I said, does not mean emotional detachment. That's not my problem. You deal with it. It does not mean superiority. I've healed more. I'm better. Thus I can teach you. Thus I can show you. It's not perfect healing. I've completed all 12 steps of internal healing. It's not that. Nor is it immunity from pain. See, we think when we heal, we're in heaven. No, you're in hell right now, called earth. This is all a test ground. So the lessons will keep coming. And your spirit will begin to evolve once you take on the challenge of conquering yourself. Instead of trying to have your wounds moored to your partner's pier and their wounds moored to yours. We need mooringless love, right? Your history can enter our relationship. That's okay. But it cannot be assigned authority to assign me a role inside that history. No. The metaphysical implication here becomes particularly interesting. If human beings repeatedly meet the present through inherited meanings, memories, expectations, and cultural scripts, love may occasionally provide something radically different. Another consciousness that refuses to impersonate yesterday. I don't want to be the answer to what happened to yesterday. So many people's relationship is built on this premise. The external person is the source of my internal meaning. And if they crumble, everything falls. That's not how it's designed. Do you see? Maybe one of love's highest forms says, I will meet the person your wound protects. I simply will not become the person your wound requires. I'm not the mooring for it. I can't be what your wound requires. Stop it there. When we come forward, the voice of reason is getting ready to land the plane on this one.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Ooh-wee, Fridays just got better. What's up? I'm Amanda Seals, and this is your invitation to come and sit with me. Yes, get seated as I do my thing on KBLA Talk 1580. We're talking noon to 2 p.m., then back again 4 to 6 p.m. Same day, same station. Bring your opinions, because you know I'm going to have mine. Bring your questions, because you know I got answers. And bring yourself, because, baby, we want you to be authentic at all times. Fridays on KBLA Talk 1580. I'll be waiting. Join me.
Yo, it's Zoe Williams, the VOR, and I know you're tired of pretty gems with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside you. Whether you're chasing your next personal record or just trying to outrun your past, this is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, huff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and Puff.
Just in case you missed our Procrastination Crenshaw Town Hall.
I heard that this brother is MIA, but I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Marquise Dawson. It's his district. He has an office in the back of Crenshaw Destination. I have not seen this brother one time in my life. On TV, yes. Newspapers, yes. And all that other stuff. But to come across the street and talk to people, or even next door to talk to people, I haven't seen this brother ever. The people who are doing the construction, and my count is 21 months. You'll let me know if I'm wrong or how long it's been abandoned. I'm calling it abandoned construction. And I've emailed a lot of people from the city, and they always gave me a date that it'll be done this day, it'll be done that day. But next door to us is the people who actually are doing the construction. Those are my next door neighbors. That's how I know what's going on. They haven't been there for 21 months.
Not letting them get away with anything. We're KBLA, Talk 1580.
You want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
When can my heart beat again? When does the pain never end? And when do the tears stop from running over? When does you get over it begin? I hear what you're saying, but I swear that it's not making sense. So when can I see you? When can I see you again? When can my heart beat again? When can I see you again?
Nature has been exploited by man for thousands of years. They are destroying the forests. They are polluting the rivers. They are polluting the air. They are killing animals for pleasure, for food. This has been going on for millions of years. And so when one asks what's your relationship with nature, is it merely exploitation that you're interested in? Digging coal, getting gold out of the earth, or finding diamonds, or cutting down trees to build houses? Is that all your relationship with nature? If you have no relationship with nature, have you any relationship with your wife, with your husband, with your neighbor? Have you any relationship at all? Have you inquired into that? Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord.
Isn't that part of religion, to find out what is true relationship? You all look so dazed. Are you all asleep or what?
I love it. Call him out, Murty. He said, you all look so dazed. Are you asleep or what? No, Krishnamurti, he dealt with it too. People are afraid to speak up. Afraid to be seen. Right? Tonight's topic was a heavy topic. Before asking whether your wounds can latch on to another person, we have to ask, what consciousness participated in bringing us into direct proximity in the first place? How did we come to be in the same place at the same time? Right? Is it a conscious choice or is it an unconscious selection? Right? We use the word choice too casually in intimate relationships. I chose the wrong person. I finally chose the right person. God sent me this person. God sends you every person. This relationship was meant to be. Every relationship was meant to be. Again, those explanations become especially suspicious when their meaning changes according to the outcome. It was God when it succeeds. So now I'm giving credit to God and divinity when the relationship is good, you know. Destiny gets the credit, right? We were meant. When it collapses, oh, the devil is busy, right? Human judgment gets the blame, or Satan. Human judgment is, I chose wrong, right? Guilt and shame wrapped into that. I didn't deserve better, right? That creates an extraordinary philosophical loophole. Success becomes divine assignment, while failure becomes personal error. But what if both relationships contain choice? And what if neither choice begins where you think it begins? You can consciously choose a person while remaining largely unconscious of what is inside of you and what inside you finds that person compelling in the first place, right? Right? That distinction right there is crucial, and it could become one of the deepest doors that we enter into this discussion. What inside of you is choosing? Right? Suppose I told you I chose her. Fine, that's cool. Who is the I making that statement? Is it me, Zoe, the person? Or is it my wound speaking through me? Because my wound has a taste, has a style, has a vibe that it likes, right? Is that me? Right? Is the chooser aware? Right? Ooh, is the chooser the aware adult standing in the present? Is abandonment of being left, being, right? The fear of abandonment, is that choosing? Is loneliness choosing? Is sexual chemistry choosing? Is cultural conditioning choosing? Is the need for validation choosing? Is familiarity choosing? See, it's easy to say, I chose. Right? But what if, again, the question is, who is the I speaking? Is it the identity that has a name, that has parents? Or is it the fracture within the identity that has hijacked the identity? Right? Is the desire to rescue somebody choosing? Is the terror of being alone choosing? Is an increasingly integrated consciousness choosing? Right? Same human being, very different choosers across the board. Right? I want to know who's choosing. What about co-creation? Wound speaking and hijacking, right? I know, I got questions. I I want to know I want to know your thoughts on tonight's topic. I know it was a heavy topic, and I know I went ham and eggs from the very beginning. I know I was on one, but I think it's important that we understand the real meaning of relationships, right? What are you anchored to? Right? What are you anchored to? What is your anchor? A boat does not drift because another boat exists nearby. Its movements depend partly upon what holds it, what pulls it, and what it has been fastened to. Human intimacy may contain a similar problem. We enter relationships believing our attachment belongs exclusively to another person while remaining less conscious of the inner conditions through which we attach. Right? Buddhist thought offers a difficult distinction here. Love and clinging do not mean the same thing. Clinging attempts to secure permanence from what cannot remain permanently arranged, right? The partner must stay. Desire must continue. Reassurance must arrive. Identity must remain recognizable. The relationship becomes responsible for protecting an internal world from external change. That's impossible. Now place that insight inside of today's question of relational wounds. Suppose abandonment fear meets someone anchored to the fear of being alone. One wound reaches outward and finds another structure already prepared to hold it, right? This person has a compatible wound. That's what I keep trying to tell y'all. There's no mooring for your wounds here. And that makes a person undateable. That makes a person unrelatable. Do you see? Tell me I'm wrong. I can be wrong. I'm not against being wrong. I don't think I know everything. As a matter of fact, the more I read, the more I study, the less I learn, or the less I know. The more I learn, the less I know is what I'm trying to say. But this is what it's looking like to me. But you already know how we do this. I start the conversations. It's up to you to finish them. I'm out tomorrow. You guys wish me luck. Send your prayers to me. Tomorrow's my brother's birthday. I will not be in tomorrow. But send me some love. Send my family some love. We appreciate you guys tuning in to The Voice of Reason. And I'll see you guys on Thursday. Deuces.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Thousands of residents are returning home in the Spokane, Washington area after massive wildfires forced widespread evacuations. Spokane County Sheriff John Knowles.
Our weather event that came in yesterday did not cause the spread of the fire in a way we were very concerned that it was going to.
Officials say improved weather conditions helped firefighters gain ground, but some neighborhoods remain off limits as